the more you know about something, the easier it is to manipulate it. And however you manipulate it can be good for everyone or hurtful to people. And two ways you can get manipulated worst. The cloud is one of them. Anything that you do on a device, it'll ask like right away, even if it doesn't, that do you want this to be on the backed up? And if you click yes, I do want it to be backed up, then it's going to be on the cloud. And on the cloud is associated to email or anything binary, and it can trace whatever you're doing. The second worst thing that could happen is at your job. People know where you're at. And so one guy, I'd tell a job that be careful if someone comes looking for me because someone's trying to find me who doesn't like me. And I saw him yesterday. Hi, Andrew. Probably forget that I said that once. The one time that I saw him yesterday, I had a discussion about Bluetooth, and I said I'm trying to understand that component. I like to relate that to It the Clown when it's a spider inside of a basement, really deep basement, and the spider can be hologram anywhere. And why that's so scary is that the hologram is able to do kinematics onto human bodies and make them suffer as if it were a clown with super strength doing things. And when things happen, how could that even be realistic? Let's imagine a tornado, and if it had the ability to have lightning bolts be about it. And these lightning bolts were so small that they twinkled like stars. You know how stars twinkle with red and blue? And then these are no different than red and blue shifting. It'd be, imagine if I was a tornado and I shot red and blue light so quickly it was rotating and it knocked this cone out from underneath my other side. And if that were to happen, it would be so quick you wouldn't even see it. And that's what happens in a flash. And when lightning occurs, it's a really dumbed down version of red and blue light shifting if that was all inside of a tornado, inside all of its windbreaks. And that can actually happen. The tornado can be focused and have that much energy because the whole universe is like a giant tornado, especially the galaxy we live in. And the galaxy that we live in has a whole bunch of solar wind, and that's really hybrid of just a wind inside of a tornado. Where the wind inside of a tornado would be whipping around, if it was so strong it would have electromagnetic densities that would be equal to a version of this, but able to do a lot more things, such as push stuff really quickly in a flash that you didn't see. Like a lightning bolt can strike objects, more so metal ones that are high up. But imagine if a hybrid lightning bolt was able to strike anything, and it could actually pick things that it wanted to. This would be what a red and blue shift inside of a tornado would be able to achieve if it was so concentrated. And why this is important is that I think Bluetooth has part of that ability where it's able to do constructs and over a certain length always hit its target where it's trying to. It's like a homing device missile that's accurate every time that it's not broken. And that's just the difference of seeing how if it's a dud or not in the ammo. But that's what Bluetooth strives to be, how strong it is, and that's why it's so important in engines, how they were made really good. If you take good care of it, the engine's going to be just as good as a really new engine. And then the timing belt is how it would be extrapolating how well it is taken care of, because the timing belt would ostensibly unwrap the entire engine and its dealings of how much wear and tear would be on it and how much less of it would all be rotated within the timing belt. And so that's why those two things are so important in understanding the actual constituents of being a dud or not. If it was just one ammo, like a homing missile, it would be able to say the accuracy. And then just once again, the more you know about things, you're able to understand the manipulation of them and utilize them better. And that's exactly how Bluetooth is so accurate all the time, because you know if it's either on or off. Part of what I think the problem is that all the gizmos and gadgets have been gone out of date, whereas the breaking of the lasers, they're just not there yet. They just break before the plane is even breached. And so one way when in deep space there is a green radio field, ostensibly. And this would be behind the cosmic radio microwave background. The radiation of the microwave background would have behind it a green radio field. Now, I'm going, even if that's wrong, that I'm going where I'm going to stick with it. Because I think I heard that on the History Channel, but even if I didn't, it makes perfect sense, where the reason that you can't see behind it any further is because the green radio field doubles as a mirror. And anyone who knows a little bit about the color wheel would know that in a more existential parlay, the mirrors inherently are all indications of green. And this is very much how green screens have the inherent ability to mirror the binary. The binary of any projection on it is able to do so because it inherently is a mirror. When it's green screen, it's doubling as mirrors would reflect. It's a double, but it's more specific because it's the binary projection. So a cosmic radio background is nothing different than the projection, and the green screen right behind it, doubles as well, the reflection. And so this is where the lasers could get jacked up and use that in order to go further without breaking. And it would incorporate a lot of ability to have focal points and kind of like how PCR tests have cycles, it would need to do that, but with more something along the lines of like a Galilean cannon. And that's what essentially a Klein bottle uses to envelope inward.